Robert Morse may be behind bars right now in Osage County, serving a 6-month sentence, but don't think for a second that he's just sitting idle, waiting out the clock. No, even from jail, he's making moves. And now, a major development has surfaced about what he's planning next. Yes, even while incarcerated, and this update involves Cindy Clemshshire. Let's be honest, we all knew Robert Morse wasn't going to stay quiet for long. Something was bound to happen, and now, just a few weeks into a sentence, we're starting to hear from him. So, what exactly has he done? What are these new plans? I'm going to break it all down for you in just a moment. Before we dive in, I want to welcome everyone to the channel. For someone like me, this platform is one of the few ways I can keep pushing forward. If you could do me a huge favor, please hit that like button and help me reach my goal of 1,000 likes on this video. It's a simple way to support the work I'm doing and help spread this information to a wider audience. Also, feel free to share this video across your social media to boost visibility. Together, we're exposing church corruption, calling out the wolves in the pulpit, and standing up for the vulnerable. Let's get into it. As I mentioned, Robert Morse is currently serving time in Osage County Jail, where he'll remain through April. But despite being behind bars, he's already making legal moves, and honestly, I can't say I'm too surprised. On Monday, October 27th, Robert Morse and his wife Debbie Morse filed a motion to be removed from Cindy Clemshshire's defamation lawsuit. When I saw that filing, my first thought was, here we go. I had actually been wondering why it took them this long to make that move in the first place. If you've been following this story, you'll remember that a few months ago, I talked about similar filings from both former and current Gateway Church elders, many of whom were also named in the lawsuit. For those who might not be familiar, here's a quick recap. Back in June 2025, before Morse was sentenced, Cindy Clemshshire and her father, Jerry Clemshshire, filed a $1 million defamation lawsuit. The suit named Robert Morse, Debbie Morse, 8 former Gateway elders, and former Gateway spokesperson Lawrence Schwisgood. The core of the claim? Defamation, stemming from how Cindy was referred to as a young lady in public statements. This all traces back to June 2024, when Cindy came forward with her story. Shortly after, Robert Morse gave a statement to the Christian Post, admitting to inappropriate behavior of a sexual nature with a young lady, a phrase that seemed to downplay the seriousness of the situation and suggest mutual consent, which Cindy has firmly denied. Cindy Clemshshire also pointed to the statement issued by Gateway Church staff during a service shortly after her story came out. Once again, they referred to her only as the young lady, never acknowledging that she was just 12 years old when the abuse began. That detail, her actual age, was glaringly absent, and it's a key part of the defamation claim. According to the lawsuit, Cindy's life spiraled in the aftermath. She's had to undergo therapy and counseling to cope with the trauma. Meanwhile, Robert Morse went on to build an empire, founding Gateway Church and amassing a fortune reportedly valued at over $117 million. The contrast is staggering. Cindy struggling to rebuild her life, while Morse thrived professionally and financially. The trial for Cindy's $1 million defamation lawsuit is currently scheduled for June 15, 2026. I've mentioned this before, but in recent months, several former Gateway elders have filed motions to be removed from the suit, claiming they never defamed Cindy. It seems like everyone named is trying to distance themselves from the case. With hearings approaching, I can't help but wonder what will actually remain of this lawsuit once all these motions are sorted out. Now, let's talk about what Robert and Debbie Morse have done. On Monday, October 27th, they filed a motion in Dallas County Court to be removed from Cindy's defamation suit. Their argument? The statute of limitations has expired. They're claiming the window for legal action has closed, and therefore they shouldn't be held liable.
What's interesting is that this same statute of limitations angle was previously floated as a way to avoid jail time for Robert Morris altogether, but that strategy didn't work out. Oklahoma Attorney General Jetner Drummond invoked an old frontier-era law, which applied because Morris wasn't a legal resident of Oklahoma. That loophole allowed the case to move forward and ultimately led to Morris's current incarceration.
Not only are Robert and Debbie Morris arguing that the statute of limitations has expired, but they're also claiming that neither Cindy Clemshshire nor her father, Jerry Clemshshire, ever formally requested a correction or retraction of the statements made about Cindy. According to their legal team, that step is required under the law for a defamation claim to proceed. Since it allegedly never happened, they're asserting that the defamation claims are invalid, and therefore they should be removed from the lawsuit entirely. But here's where things get strange. Despite Robert Morris having already pleaded guilty to the criminal charges, which earned him a 6-month jail sentence followed by 9.5 years of probation and lifetime registration, he and Debbie are now denying every allegation made by Cindy and her father in the defamation suit. It's a puzzling contradiction. And it's not the only legal battle they're facing. The Morrises are also entangled in a separate lawsuit involving Gateway Church and Robert's retirement compensation. If you recall, Morris demanded $1 million up front after his resignation, claiming he was forced out. On top of that, he expected to receive $850,000 annually until age 70, followed by another $600,000 plus per year for the rest of his life. The numbers are staggering. Then there's yet another lawsuit, this one brought by former Gateway congregants over the church's controversial money-back guarantee on tithes. For those unfamiliar, both Robert Morris and Gateway Church have filed motions to be dismissed from that case as well. The judge has officially denied the request from Robert Morris and Gateway Church to be dismissed from the lawsuit involving the alleged misuse of tithes. That case is now moving forward, and it's shaping up to be a fascinating one. Here's what it's about. Former Gateway Church members claim Morris had promised that 15% of all tithes would go toward global missions. But according to their allegations, the actual amount was closer to just 3%. A former finance staffer from Gateway even came forward, stating that they were never able to account for the missing 12%. So now the big question is, where did that money go? With the dismissal denied, Morris and Gateway will have to face those allegations in court. But that's just one of the legal battles in play. Let's turn back to the defamation lawsuit filed by Cindy Clemshshire and her father. Hearings for that case are coming up very soon. These sessions will allow attorneys from both sides to meet and determine whether any of the named individuals, including Robert and Debbie Morris, will be dismissed from the suit. Once that decision is made, Cindy will be able to move forward into the discovery phase, where more evidence and testimony will be gathered. And honestly, I never thought Morris would just sit back quietly. Even from jail, he's been active, filing motions, pushing back, and trying to minimize the fallout. But with multiple lawsuits now in motion, it's clear that the road ahead is going to be anything but quiet.
You know, Morris probably thinks he's already paid his dues. But let's not forget, during that hearing, he couldn't even look Cindy in the eye. That moment was heartbreaking. Instead of speaking directly to the Clemshshire family, he had his attorney read a statement on his behalf. He couldn't even bring himself to say the words. He's been ordered to pay Cindy $270,000 in restitution, and I know a lot of people feel that's nowhere near enough. Some believe Cindy deserves everything Morris has, and honestly, I understand that sentiment. But let's also remember, many of us didn't think Morris would ever be arrested, let alone sentenced. I was skeptical myself, so the fact that there's been some accountability here, it matters. And then there's the lifetime registration. That label follows him forever. It's humiliating. Whether he tries to start another church or reinvent himself, that designation doesn't go away. Do I think he'll try to make a comeback? Honestly, nothing would surprise me. He still has a loyal base. I've heard from people who continue to support him, who stand by him no matter what. I wouldn't be shocked if they throw him a celebration when he's released in April 2026. There's a good chance Morris will be welcomed back with a big celebration once he's released in April 2026. He still has a strong support base, and who knows what his next move will be. But let's be real. He's doing everything he can to limit the damage. In his mind, he's already paid enough. Of course, it's all a result of his own actions, but the last thing he wants is to give Cindy another cent. Meanwhile, he's still tangled up in lawsuits, one with Gateway Church over his retirement payout, and another with former congregants over the tithing controversy. So, yes, he's in jail, but he's not sitting still. He's making legal moves. As for Cindy Clemshshire's defamation suit, there's been no response yet from her side regarding the Morses' request to be dismissed. And here's something worth revisiting. Cindy once shared that Debbie Morse called her and said she forgave her for what she did to her husband. That moment has stuck with a lot of people. It raises the question, does Debbie still feel that way? She's remained silent throughout this entire ordeal. But blaming a 12-year-old girl for something your husband did? That's hard to wrap your head around. After everything came to light, Debbie could have walked away. She could have left him behind, but she stayed. Why? So, yes, this case is far from over. It's going to be fascinating to watch how it unfolds, especially with the layers of legal strategy, public scrutiny, and emotional weight involved. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think the judge will dismiss the Morses, or will this case push forward into full discovery? Your engagement helps drive this conversation. And don't forget to hit that like button to help us reach our 1,000 likes goal. Share this video across your social platforms to keep the spotlight on accountability and justice.